So today's session is going to be very interesting. And please, when these women are coming forward, because these are women in marketing. And one thing about women in marketing, we are trying our very best every day. So when they come, I need you to put your hands together for them. And not the one who did for me. We'll talk about that later. But please, please, with God's joy, with Jesus' joy, please put your hands together. Put your hands together. In fact, I have to move so I can see picture. Please put your hands together for treasure Iyoha Ernest. Put your hands together. And joining us is my queen, the love of my life. Please put your hands together for Patience Ayeni. Okay. Okay. So these women look beautiful, and they work in my favorite part of the world called marketing. And today we're going to get a little bit, we're going to dive a little bit into their lives. Can I get the second mic, please? Is it with you? Okay, great. We're going to dive a little bit into their lives and also into their careers. And hopefully, I'm hoping we can do this quick enough so we can share some marketing insights along the way. All right, so we are going to be starting with, so the topic for this panel is marketing, sales, and growth, which is, again, one of my favorite topics. So I'm going to be starting with Patience. This is a live question, and it states, you studied physics and electronics and excelled at it, yet now you work in content strategy, product marketing, and management. How do you, how do you balance these diverse roles as a woman of many talents? No, help. It's not working.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Yes, okay. So, how do I combine marketing and physics, electronics? First of all, I had made the decision that I wasn't going to use my certificate at the gate of my school. So, it was not like a contemplation. I already came back. I told my mom, like, you know what, here's a BTech. I've aced this thing. And I don't think I want to be, I don't see myself wearing a lab coat and being in the lab doing some MC square kind of thing. I've always had a flair for marketing, media, tech, and business, those three areas. So I started to look for things that will drive me in that direction. And the first thing I did was, as soon as I think it started in school because during my IT period, by that time, I already knew that, you know what, I don't want to do physics and electronics outside of the school gates. So I pushed myself to be taking up roles, doing side projects that revolved around me, working with people who were already doing what I knew I wanted to do once I leave school. So that was like how I made the transition. And then the second thing about how I'm able to combine things, I feel like my life has been in phases. So at this phase, I'm like here learning this, and then I move to another phase, and I take on part of that knowledge from the last phase and put it into the next phase. And I think one thing we think about career or growth or managing talent is that you have to be very clear on it from the beginning. But like Salem said, it's a progressive process and it's not something that you just discover in like one hit.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I like to be very interactive, so when I speak and I ask for your response, please answer me. If not, I'll run you from this stage. All right. So, how many of you here are business owners? Before I answer the question, if you run a business here, can I see your hand? Because I want to give answers tailored to the audience. Um, how many hands? I would want to see the hands. Okay, a few of us. So the rest of us here, what do you do? You help them with their businesses. So you are social media managers here, social media manager, marketing experts. All right, awesome. Okay, so obviously, as in any industry, there are different challenges. But then for marketing, the number one issue that I've found in working with different businesses and companies is the gap in marketing knowledge. Now, a lot of business owners, in fact, as a matter of fact, every single day, people start a new business. But then they start it with the assumption of, oh, I know Mr. B. He's a millionaire, he's doing this business, so definitely there's money in this, right? And that's a good reason to start a business. However, no business thrives without marketing, and that's why you have to learn. And I love the fact that we are all here to learn. However, it feels like we get to convince people too much to be interested in knowledge. And that's a big problem. As a matter of fact, it's a big headache for me because I get to work with people, and sometimes it's like you're trying to drag them to be serious, right? So the first issue, yes, is people being interested in actually even getting knowledge for marketing, because you find that people investing so much to start a business, but then at the end of the day, they are now struggling to make it work because they are refusing to even spend money because they feel like it should just happen now. There are customers everywhere. Let's make the money. And yeah, I'm sure that there are lots of social media managers here who struggle with their clients spending money for ads. Anybody here? If you say let's run ads, they'll say I have 2K. 2K to who? But if more people could understand that marketing is not cheap, marketing is very strategic, and marketing requires you to always know. And which is the second problem, which is that consumers always change, right? So if you're my customer today and maybe right now you're in school, for now, for you, you want to just be inspired by me, most likely. You want to try to figure out what to do with your life and everything. By the time you're now a married woman, you have different problems altogether, right? By the time you now have a family to take care of as a man, your challenges are like bigger. So you might even listen to me more than the student that will listen to me because now you need to make a lot more money. Now, it means that I need to always be abreast of what your needs are, right? So if you are a content creator, you are a business owner, you are it doesn't matter what you do. You always need to always understand what is the current need of my customers at this point, and how can I get my product or my service to, meet that. And then I think another issue would now be the economy that we are in, because you are in Nigeria, right? So I'm trying to make it as tailored to us as possible. Because you're working or you're trying to run your business in a country like Nigeria, you have to be wiser than the average business owner. Because you can wake up tomorrow and they say, we're charging everybody for running ads like they have, right? Or they can wake up and say one thing or the other. So you always have to be abreast of what is going on, and then you have to be very, very resilient because you can't give up just like that. But I hope
Definitely.
that this
Yeah,
answers the
answers the
question.
question perfectly. And before we pass the mic, my next question for you, just quickly, because I know obviously this is something you teach for a good amount of money. But what are some strategies that you've used to kind of like gain success for your clients in marketing?
So when you are able to conduct market research, you have a great understanding of your customer. So whether you are even, for example, a content creator, who do I want to speak to? What do they like? What interests them? Because if you can always know what is in their head, so it's like if a guy wants to get a girl, right? You know that you have to do things that she likes for her to even have your time. You can't just say, I want to marry you. Well, except those very weird brothers that would just be like, I dreamt about you last night. May God forgive you. But the normal process is that you get to know more about me and you try to do what I like. And then when the guy is doing that, before you know, oh my God, I met a guy, I'm in love. And next thing, they're married with 5 children. Anyways, my point is when you are always investing in market research, trust me, you can easily get your customers money. You can also actually even charge more. So, for example, I run an agency where we help entrepreneurs, startups with marketing strategies, social media management, and all of that. Now, what you are charging is not what I charge. Sorry. What you charge is not what I charge, but I'm charging from a different advantageous point because I'm talking as an expert, one, and because I know the customer. I know that at this particular point, this is what they need, and I try to tailor like my solutions. Are we still together? I feel like we're making noise. Are you enjoying this? Can we try to listen because we're here for you? Or we should just close this? Should we end this? This is the last session. Please try to pay attention, okay? Right? So, to close this, primarily market research and also be willing to spend money for your marketing. And then also always go for an expert. Always go to experts to learn from them, to pay for their services and use their services. Sometimes, for example, sorry, not to
That's fine.
draw back, you would find a small business owner complaining that their social media manager is not giving them as much results. But here's the problem. You want that person to be your graphic designer, your marketing expert, your, what again? Your content curator, your community manager. You want them to give you heaven and earth on top 20K. Fear God now. It's not feasible. It's wickedness. And obviously, you're not going to get results. So every time clients come to me, they're like, I've seen your type before. I say, you've not seen my type. Because my type will not take 20K from you. The least I would take from you at least is like 200K. For that same work, you want somebody to do for 20K. So yes, let's be willing to spend money. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, the first, not the first, but one of the earlier speakers did say, to make money, you have to spend money. So, dear business owners, be aware. Okay, so Patience, let's head back to you. Now, you've definitely worked in, number one, the creative space. You've worked with creators. You've had sessions with creators. So, my first question would be, what, I don't want you to do what tactics, because tactics sound cheap. But what strategies can you what strategies can you state that creators and business owners also can implement when it comes to um, selling their brands online?
So, strategies I think creators can implement when it comes to selling their brands online is tapping into their personalities. I don't know if the lady from 3L Lip Gloss, is that the brand's name?
Yeah.
3L Lip Gloss, is she here? Like, her presentation was so energetic that you might be wondering why I came up here with the lip gloss. I had a lip gloss in my bag, and I had no idea my lips were already getting dried. And so, as she was pitching her product, she said something about, she just said that line of, don't go around with your lips dry. And I was like, wait. I just carried out my lip gloss and started to bat my lips with it. And I think that is something that is very important in marketing. Sometimes you think that your customers know their problem. They don't know it until you call it out to them. That's something, that's one. The second thing is that just like every person's, eye pattern, I don't know what's called, it's like the optic pattern basically of everyone is different. That's why you have like iris scanners and then you have fingerprint scanners, right? Every single person, imagine 8 billion people on earth all have that level of difference. Now, when it comes to marketing, every single person has a uniqueness to their voice, to their brand, that once they put out in their marketing, it automatically stands them out. We heard from Salem today. I believe there are many content creators that do videos online, right? But why do you listen to Salem? He tapped into something that was unique to him. And you know the funny thing? The funny thing is that when it comes to being a content creator and you want to market your craft, the thing that you think is a weakness might actually be what will endear your audience to you. For instance, when you think that, oh, I don't think I like the way my voice sounds. Who knows Carby Lame here? Carby Lame. Kha. You guys don't know Kabilim? Yes. You know, have you?
Oh,
Who has
the
heard?
Kenyan guy.
Yes.
Okay,
Who
yes.
has heard his voice?
I.
You've heard his voice.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard his voice, but it's only people that watch a lot of your content, social media leads, so you do a lot of research. Yes. Have you heard his voice? I mean, he has a very strong French accent, but he knew that, okay, this might be a weakness, right? So he instant turned it into a strength. And you know that in the last Grammy, Kabilame was a creator that was in the Grammys. Can you imagine? So sometimes you might be like, I don't know how to go about this. I tell every single person that I meet that the more you tap into your strengths, the more unique your voice becomes in the marketplace. And then you are able to find your tribe, find your community of people. And when you speak their language, they hear you. It's like, I don't know how to speak Yoruba so much, but I'm in Lagos, so I'm trying to learn. So if I say that, I'm still trying to think about the language, a line. Please, someone should help me with a line of Yoruba. Showapa, right? I got that. I got that. See, clap for me. I got that.
You're trying your best.
I'm trying my best. So imagine if you got into Canada, for instance, now, and you're at the airport and you're Yoruba, and someone says Showapa. What happens? Like you just hear someone tell another person, Showa, Mowa. The first thing is that you're going to turn your heads like, who is speaking my language? So find your language and speak it because as a creator, someone in the market speaks your language. You just need to find them.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for patience. I really did enjoy what you said, especially about speaking your language. Because the thing about it is that people feel, yes, you are unique in your own way, but a lot of the time you end up seeing people that are also on your same language frequency as you are, and it's always very good to tap into that audience. So, my last and final question, and I'm hoping I still have time after you've answered this question to delve a little bit deeper. But my question is, in your opinion, what is one part of marketing, aspect of marketing for businesses that is often overlooked? And how can a business owner start focusing on this aspect?
Okay, thank you so much. So, in the past 10 years, I have trained a lot of business owners, and only last year did I discover that one reason why it looks as though you train a bunch of students, a bunch of business owners, and only a few would get results is personal development. Are we together? Personal development. Now, I would go to a class with you, and I promise you, I would make 20x of what I paid for that particular training. Not because I am better than you, but because naturally I'm a very determined person. I need a grip for anybody. Like right now, I'm not green for you that you're not listening to me. Right? I'm someone that is resilient. I'm someone that is so sure of who I am. I can be in a room where nobody knows me and I'm not phased. I don't feel threatened, like, oh my God, that girl is wearing Brazilian toner. What do they call that hair? Bone straight. Sorry, I don't know anything about. I'm not really a fan of wigs, right? I can be in the room filled with great people, and I'm not feeling small because I know I am great. I know that they are blessed to have me there. Like you are blessed to have me here talking to you. Amen, somebody. Now, there is a particular disposition that I get because of that kind of person that I am. So I can take an information and I know that I must make something out of this. But there is another person who is feeling like, this is so overwhelming. Today we have learned so much, so much. It's so easy to say, but now wow, if you easy do them. That kind of small-minded talk in your head, I promise you, even if we were to give you $10 billion, it would be wasted in your hands, right? And so, since last year for me, I started focusing on personal development for any entrepreneur that gets to work with me. And I kid you not, it's giving so much more. I mean, one of my clients, so let me give an example so that it's very practical. I have a client who is in Ghana, and initially, she was just comfortable with making how much she was making because, yeah, it looked good. she was already making some millions. I'm like, I can see that your business has the potential for so much more, but she was not seeing it. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's have a session not about business. Let me get to understand you. Let me understand your journey. Where are you coming from? What is, in fact, do you even have experiences that even can even shape or carry where you're going to? And in just a month, I was able to take her from, how will I, what's the best word to describe it? From someone that was like so small minded and she was now hungry. When you are hungry as a business owner, see, there's nothing you cannot do. Now, the money that she's making, I can't say it. She's always begging me, Ma, please don't post the figures because it's like, they kidnap me. Because she couldn't believe that she was content all this while with making what she was making. But I didn't teach her more strategies. I didn't tell her 20 ways to fly. I was able to build her. I was able to make her see that, see, there's so much more in you. And she tapped into that. So if you're here and maybe, I don't know, whatever it is that you do, whether you are an entrepreneur, content creator, see, don't get scared of your tomorrow. From your today, start to work on who you are now. Stop thinking about, I want to know who I am in the future. And I think as I was sitting down, somebody came to ask me a very important question. She asked me, how do you know that you're on the right path?
Can we have a bit of decorum, please? Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. She asked me a very important question, and she said, how do I know that I'm on the right path? And I said, I chose to be on this path, so I know I'm on the right path. However, what I did was I found something that could let me express all of me. I studied law in school with the University of London, but I knew that I wasn't going to practice. I told my mother, this certificate is for you. It's not for me.
So all of us on this stage have dropped our degrees.
It's not for me, sister. Take it. And then after I was done, I decided from when I was in school, my first job was in marketing. In fact, all my life, all my job experience is marketing, customer relations, everything marketing, right? And so I didn't know that today I will be currently the communications consultant for the World Bank. I didn't know that today I would be running my own company. I didn't know that. But from where I was at that time, I knew I wasn't going to be small. Did I know the full picture? I didn't know. But that's okay. But from where I was working on myself. Some of you need to stop. Are we together? I say hallelujah. Say hallelujah. All right, great. Determine now that you're not going to remain small, and that is all you need. And keep working on yourself. Stop this whole victim mentality. Yes, you went through stuff, but not be only you don't go through stuff. If we all sit down here and start to share what we've all gone through, tissue paper will not be enough. We will all be crying and in premium tears, right? So don't stay on what you've gone through, your current experiences. A typical example of a grass to grace story. I went from nothing to where I am now, and I'm still going somewhere. So primarily for me, I would say if people could focus on developing themselves and their minds, they would go a lot. Lastly, don't be scared to keep repeating your marketing activities, right? It's one thing that would be a big game changer for you. So let's say you are trying to sell a course and you're scared that you will look too salesy because you are selling that course over and over again, right? Let me also tell you one thing. Your customers are different, so it means that the messaging many times would have to be different. Don't be so stuck on, I want to sell any course. Give me an example of a course that you sell. Anybody? I want to see an example. Eh? Food, good. So let's say you sell meal plans for people, and all you are just going to be saying is, I sell meal plans, come and buy, come and buy. No, that's not how to sell it. And if you keep just putting out that particular message, it would not give you as much conversion. So what do? Okay, who are the people that I want to sign up for this my meal plan, right? They are the moms who are busy with their children, so they are stay-at-home moms. They are busy career women like me who have family, but we don't really have time like that, right? Then there are those that have health issues. So it means that you now need to separate your marketing message to fit into these different people. So you can't be tired of repeating the same thing, but in different ways to suit the different people.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you can say, okay, you know what? I'm going to use 4 weeks to market for this my meal plan. And for the first week, I will speak to only stay-at-home moms. So today, if you say you want to dance, that's you want to dance. Let your dancing, let that message be talking to stay-at-home moms. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't want to be going to the short of trying to take care of your child and trying to figure out what to give that child to eat. So let me help you. Day one. Day two, your child is a picky eater. I can give you a meal plan that can fit into. Do you understand?
Yeah.
One whole week, back to back, finding different pain points that is peculiar to that stay-at-home mom. Now, that is you doing marketing repetition, but it is very strategic. The next week, too, the same thing. Okay, let me speak to the career woman like Treasure. She's very busy, always traveling, going to one country. Let me help you take care of your family. Don't forget your family, or your husband can be angry with you. You say things. But in all of this, some people can feel like it's a lot of stress. But you want to make money, you don't want to go through stress. You want to make money, you don't want to go through stress. So if you can do these two things, I feel like you can get more results in your business. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for your both speakers. All right, so now there's a question and answer portion. So we have time for 2 questions. Okay, please come forward. Who else? Who else has a question? So the session was that simple people don't have questions. That people want to pick the minds of two marketers, two brilliant marketers. No question. Okay, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Olan Gokwa. So I have 2 questions. I'll try to sandwich it into one. Okay, so as a service-based business owner, which should you prioritize, consultation or a data product? Then number 2, as somebody who has a 9 to 5 and an agency, how do you balance it and ensure that, okay, let's say you have grown very well in your 9 to 5, but your agency is suffering a bit. How do you balance it and ensure that your agency also grows as you're also growing in your career? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's start with patience.
I'm going to take the 9 to 5 one because I do a 9 to 5 and I do a lot of other things beside it. And the first thing which was also the most difficult thing for me to learn, aside physics, yes, was learning to delegate. I find it very difficult to delegate tasks because I don't like to micromanage, but something in me micromanages. It's not me. It's something in me that micromanages because I feel if I put out work, my name is on the line, and I want to do something that stands out to a particular degree because there's a reason why someone would choose Patience Ayeni to maybe bring a content strategy document or a product launch to GTM for a startup or something. So I don't want to just entrust that into somebody's hand. So I think, just like going back to what Treasure said, one of the best decisions you will make in a marketing team or any business at all is investing in your people. I think when we are gracious enough to expose our people to the knowledge we have that makes us informed enough to do what we do in the way we do it, then you are able to, I don't want to say it's like Jesus. You are able to raise other Jesuses. The goal was that Jesus said, the works I do, greater works than this shall you do, right? But he took out so much time. It was grueling tasks to teach those disciples because these same disciples that he was teaching would come back to him and he would be like, oh, you guys of little faith, haven't you been with me long enough? I know sometimes it can be like that when you're growing a team, but it takes a lot of time. I'm still in the process. Sometimes I don't like yelling because I don't even have the voice to yell, first of all. So sometimes I'll just get some messages, go and lie down. I'm like, God, 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 God. And then I'll say, oh, okay, don't worry. I'll jump on a call with you and then we'll go through it. So investing in people is one thing for how you can do a 9 to 5 because you will have to delegate tasks. That one is sure. Especially when you are still at the early stage and you cannot hire a manager. Because if you have a big budget, maybe you are funded by Jeff Bezos, right? You can afford you can go and poach a manager from a bigger company, and then it's easy for you to just, send tax to that person. But when you are growing, you will have to prioritize investing in your team. And investing in your team, some people just buy a bunch of courses or books and give to people and say, you read this, do this. Everybody is different, when I'm talking now, what you are hearing is different from what the second person beside you is hearing. And we all hear based on where we are and who we are. So if you're going to train your people to start putting out outputs, I think three major things to summarize this. The first thing is that no one would give you your kind of, no one will exactly replicate what you want, right? You have to accept their creativity. That's one. Number two would be investing in people is not just investing in their knowledge, it's also investing in their emotions. Sometimes I see my team member is not feeling like they used to laugh ha 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 before, and then they're like, ha, today. And I notice and I'm like, so why is your ha today not ha ha ha? And then they tell me, oh, my mom is this and that. And we have to go through that whole process to bring them in before they can deliver their best work. And then the third thing on the list is that you have to have patience. You
Sure, you
have
did
to have a
emphasize.
lot of patience because it takes time to grow anything. Imagine it that you are planting a tree, you would not reap the fruit today, right? And oh God, this is becoming long. And you know that each of the people you are going to work with, I like agriculture. For some reason, I got A1 in agriculture. And I like it a lot because it relates to life. Annual, biannual, what's the last one? Every of your team members, some of them are going to be annual crops, some of them are going to be biannual, and some of them are going to be perennial. I'm sorry to, I can say
I
I'm a crop,
understand.
right? So you might teach somebody something, and the person gets it on the fly, and the person is able to do it. Tomorrow you're handing tax over, this person is delivering, and you're like, yay! And then 2 weeks later, that person is poached to another company. Zero commitment to your company, and they go. You can have a biannual teammate. You invest in this person. 2 months, the person has not picked anything. And you're like, God, God, God. But when the person picks up, it's like you have gotten a star member on your team for life. And then, of course, the perennial crops. The perennial crops are those people that you are quarter to kick out. And you're like, there's no hope for a tree at all. But remember, those people, keep them around. Like, you really, really have to have patience. Keep them around. Continue to make it like a tech product where you continue to do market testing until you find the product market fit. And then you will see that, what I've discovered? Those people become the best on your team. So don't be quick to kick out people on your marketing team.
Please put your
Thank
hands
you.
together for her. Okay.
I don't know the other question again.
Okay, so
You'd
the
have to ask
question
it
was
again.
which is a lot better, services or a digital product? Am I right? Please. Go- Consultations or digital products?
Which should you prioritize? So first of all, it depends on the current state that you're in your agency. If you're just starting out, then you shouldn't be starting with trying to sell a course or trying to sell a book because who knows you, who trusts you? Because the primary thing is not even just about who knows you, is the people that get to trust you. Now, I found that from my experience, one of the easiest way for me to have built trust was from one-on-one consultations. However, it got to a point where I became too busy to even want to have one-on-one consultations. And let's be honest, it's very mentally exhausting. And for someone like me who is so passionate that if I'm having a session with you and I see that the problem is not strategy, the problem is who you are. Ah, you would have paid me for an hour and I would talk to you for 3 hours. So I can't do that consistently. Right now, I work with the World Bank as a communications consultant. I don't have that time to now be, how's your life? Oh my God, my sister, I'm so sorry. I don't have the time. So that I'm like, it depends on the stage that you're in. But if it is based on which is going to give you more money, obviously, these are products. The one that is easily scalable is digital product because you can't replicate yourself. Unless maybe you go and do your recorded course, but that one is no longer one-on-one. Do you understand? For one-on-one, it involves you, but you have to now consider growth with time. So what I now did is that I made my one-on-one not expensive, so that if you now see my course, you will say, okay, since I cannot afford her course, her one-on-one, I'll pay for her course, right? But at the beginning stage, you need to invest in one-on-ones because you want to use that to establish trust and to get a lot of results and reviews. Because
Okay.
when you work with people one on one, they can give you results faster than a class. That's the fact. That's the fact. As a matter of fact, if you are an entrepreneur, you want to now start scaling, please find someone to pay and work with them one on one. Because if it's in a class, I can come and teach you and I go. It's not my business how you implement. But if it's one on one and you've paid me to also hold you accountable, then you have me on your neck, right? And you're going to get more results. That is fact. So sometimes there's more money with one on one because I'm working for you for a long time and you're paying me huge sum. But it's not scalable because it involves you. So the beginning stage, hammer on one on one, but then use that to generate. Because I also find some experts do one on one, but then you don't even know who your previous clients were. I know people that I started with. I know my day one clients. We still keep in touch because the purpose is that you want to be able to make more money from them. The idea is that if I get you today, don't worry, in the next 3 years, I'm still chopping your money. You understand? So if I get you as a one-on-one client, I'm not going to just say one-on-one, then that's all. No, the next time that person, when you're not ready for a course, that person should be a student. From there, there should now be a VIP one-on-one. From VIP, they should become partners because it should be like a never-ending circle. So they are both linked actually,
Yeah.
right? So I hope I answered your question, sir.
Okay. Thank you so
A
much.
follow-up question.
Ah,
I've,
that's not a class.
that's now and to be honest, it's not productive. It doesn't give. So I've tried both. I've been on the both ends where I've attended a group one-on-one. We're like three, and then she's like, "What's your own issue? What's your?" The fact is that client cannot even open up to tell you what their full problems because there are other people inside there. So I was like, "Yeah, we bless God. I can't really tell you so much, right?" And it's still almost like a class. So why don't just charge more and have one person?
Yeah. All right.
So I just want to ask if the 9 to 5 answer was gotten. Like, are you satisfied with the question on 9 to 5 and how to balance it? Your parents invest so much in you because when they are old, they want to also get back from you. I don't 100% believe in it because I believe that even at old age, I still want to be able to, leave a trust fund for my kids. But one thing I believe is that community building is a great way to start building people that you can delegate to. Because what happens with your community is that you are the one giving them from your cup, you're pouring into them. And as you're pouring into them, they are becoming, again, Bible, how it says that as we behold, we become. You're transformed into the same image you are beholding. So as you share your knowledge with them, they are beholding your mental capacity, your skill set in a way, your mindset, which is very important, and they are being able to come into that. And the last thing is that there will be some projects you have to say no to when you are doing the 9 to 5. You cannot eat your cake and have it. There are sometimes when you see a project is too large, it cannot fit into the chunk of time that you have left. Don't agree. I tell you, it's better to lose $100,000. Okay, it's too much. Let's not go to 100,000 because I've not gotten any contract of that big. Please, let's do something like $8,000. If you do a $500 job very well, you lose that one because you don't have the time. You're honest about it. You know what? That person will be the person in the room when they're having a 10K and above discussion and will say, "I know a guy," and they will call you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so.
So sorry. So sorry. I want to add two things to answer his question because I feel like because of that whole perfection mentality that we get to have in hiring staff, we want to hire people that are so good. But like Gary Vee has said one time, be able to hire easily and fire easily. So for me, I've learned that you don't need to be good for me to hire you. You just need to have character. So sometimes, not in fact, at every single level that you're in as an entrepreneur, be ready and willing to employ people that may not be like the best experts, but they have character. They are willing to learn. They can be patient with you. They want to learn your company culture. These guys are actually a gem because you can still hire that expert that will still come and be telling you, "So it's your business. I don't care about this," and they will frustrate your life. So find people that are malleable to change and you can easily mold into, what your company needs. Secondly and finally, document every single thing. Document like your life depends on it. If a customer sends us a message, how do we answer them? Write it down. If we have any issue, how do we respond to them? Write every single thing down, because you can now easily, like she said, train people when you're not even there. So we call TOT of training. So training of trainers is a method of training where you get to train somebody to be a trainer to train others, so that you can be able to train your staff to be able to train other people. But then with documentation, it's easy for everybody to just flow, because you come and you say, okay, this is the framework, copy and paste. That can also help you with managing, your life and the team. I hope that this helps you.
All right, thank you very much. Please put your hands together for our amazing speakers. Thank you so much.